Hey, I'm live. Hey, this is Coach Nikki Zeigler. I'm excited. We're doing the I Wrote My Book during the pandemic tour. This tour has kicked off. I have over 90 authors in the next 2 weeks that we're going to be interviewing. And so we kicked it off on Monday. It has been going fairly well. I have another amazing published author with me this morning. Hey, do me a favor. Let's do a watch party. I see y'all on here. Get on here. Okay. Good morning, Yolanda. I see you, Coach Yolanda. Come on, get on here. Do me a favor. Do a watch party for me. Do a watch party. Okay, I see the numbers are going up now. Let's do a watch party and let's talk about what the next author is doing. I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm glad she kicked it off at 8 o'clock in the morning because we're here early in Alabama, and she's actually in Charlotte. I mean, not Charlotte. She's in Charleston, South Carolina. So let's bring in author Sharon Blake. Are you ready, Miss Blake, to be on?
I am.
There she is, beautiful, beautiful woman with a beautiful mindset. Life Chronicle Publishing. It's the publishing company she's using. Let's talk about this book. Tell me about this book.
Well, this book, here it is. It's called Little Black Boys and Girls, We Will Fight for You. It's a book I wrote about the struggles of African American and Latino, brown and black children. And just letting them know that, we are here to help them, to help fight for them with everything that's been going on in this last year during the pandemic, injustices against black and brown bodies, human beings. I just felt like I needed to reach the children. This was actually a poem I had written a while ago, but I just crafted it and, really took time and rewrote some things to gear towards the kids to make them feel like, all of us are in this fight for you, that racism must cease to exist at some point in time. I don't know when that is, but that not just black people are fighting for you, not just brown people, but white people, Asian, Eastern, Middle Eastern people. Everyone is in this fight together. So just as a comfort and a support to our children.
Wow. I want to give a shout out to Clarissa Caldwell. She's on here. Good morning, Clarissa. Go ahead and do a watch party for me, girl. I want to give a shout out to Shawana McKinstry. She's on here. Go ahead. Let's do a watch party, guys, because this here interview is going to talk about some real issues that we deal with on a daily basis. I mean, we're afraid to talk about it. Some people are. I'm not. I'm bold. I want to talk about it because I feel like racism has been for the last, I'm going to say 4 years, and I'm not throwing shots at Trump, but I think more now than ever, racism has ducked its head up. We see it more often now than I've ever seen. Even, me growing up and being that black girl. I was the black girl that was picked on when I was young, and I went to a white school. But, I had to learn to love me, to accept who I am, and to, and to take ownership in who I am as a person, even as an African-American woman, just stepping out and just really just seeing the plans God has for my life. So with this book that you got, I know you're going to reach a lot of different kids, not only kids, their parents, across the board. It's going to be amazing. So I suggest you guys get this book. So tell us what inspired you to write this amazing book.
Well, what inspired me was I was a paraeducator at the school district in Washington State, and seeing the children suffer, being picked on, being singled out, was just enough. I had enough. And so one day I sat down and wrote a poem just about how I will no longer sit back and be silent as a parent, as a grandparent, as a paraeducator, that yes, it's uncomfortable for me in my work, at my workplace, to stand up and say, no, you're treating this student this particular way because of the color of their skin, and I'm not going to personally tolerate it. That takes a lot of courage to do, and a lot of people around me did not want to join in that fight with me, brown, black people, and white people, because we're fighting against systems here. And so, and people need their jobs. But I made a decision that day at work that enough was enough, and that I was going to make my voice heard, not just for me, but I thought about my grandkids and my kids. And we have to stand up. It can't just be one of us. It can't be two of us. We can no longer be afraid not to use our voices in this day and time, because what happens is this causes generational trauma, and that's what we're dealing with today as adults. We're still traumatized by what we went through as children. I know in my school, when I was in elementary school, I was paddled back then. I was picked on by teachers. I was made fun of and mocked at because I was the darkest one in the classroom, and I don't want that for my grandchildren. Period. I don't want that for any children, but that's what really motivated and pushed me. I started thinking about my grandkids, like, no, God, no, I don't want this for them, And so that's where the book is birthed from. Me getting the courage to use my voice and fight for our children.
Now, my question to you, okay, this pandemic is across the world. Yeah. So it's not even just the United States, it's across the world. What gave you the strength to write a book during the pandemic?
Well, it was a time to go in deep, and watching the news and seeing everything. I had time. I had more time. I already worked from home anyway, so I was already used to being at home and being still. But this pandemic really made me think about everything that was important in my life and everything that was not important, and what I stood for. I challenged myself. What am I standing up for? What am I not standing up for? Like, Sharon, who are you and why are you? And so that made me dig deep and just really bring out my pen and sit down and just say, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm doing this for a bigger purpose than just myself. It's for all of us. And to challenge people who are not brown and black. There's beautiful depictions of white families talking to their kids about Black Lives Matter in this book. I'll show you this page. It's a page of all cultures standing together and holding hands and saying we're going to fight for kids. So I just needed to go in, and the pandemic gave me that time to do that, and so that's how I wrote the book.
Sharon, what does Black Lives Matter means to you? What's your definition of Black Lives Matter?
My own personal definition without the politics involved.
Yes.
It just means that me, as a human being, a Black human being, that I matter just as much as a white individual or any other human being on this earth. I really wish that we could get down to all of us just being human beings, but that may just be too much for most right now. Mm-hmm. We could all just see each other as human beings and not black, white, purple, whatever. That would make this world just so much more better. But systemically, generationally, power and greed has caused individuals to be as they are. And so it's up to us collectively to change the mindsets and change systems. And we can't do that unless we stand up and say, no, that's wrong. Mm-hmm. And we need our allies. We need our white allies and counterparts to stand up with us and say that's wrong, because they're the ones that need to change their families' thought process. And it's not going to be easy for them either. They're going to have to fight against that, but we've been fighting too. So, we need everyone in this fight.
What can, and I want to give a shout out to Charlene Coleman. I see you on here. My deal is this right here. Coming from you, okay, I see Sandra Orton, she's on here. Sandra says, we have to be the change we want to see in the world. We do have to be, you just said that, Sharon. Yeah. We do have to be the change that we see in the world. I will ask you this question. What can you say to an aspiring author who wants to write a book?
I would say just sit down, get your pen and your pad, or if you're more comfortable typing it out, or voice texting it, just do it. Don't worry about the structure, if it's right or wrong. Dig deep inside, go inside yourself, and just let the words come out. Let the editors worry about how to make it pretty and how to make it perfect. That's not your job as a writer. Your job as a writer is to get what's inside of you onto that paper.
Wow. So before we leave this interview, let's talk about how and where we can find your book. Where can we find this amazing book?
So you can find my book at lifechroniclespublishing.com. Okay. Yeah, that's where it's at. It's also on Amazon as well, but my website is lifechroniclespublishing.com.
Wow. Want to definitely give a shout out to Lucy Tellers. We see you, Lucy. Good morning. Thank you for joining this live. We're interviewing author Sharon Blake. Now, do you have any other books you've done? Is it the only book that you've done?
Oh, no. I have several.
Let's talk about it. I want to talk about it. Let's, because you never know who's watching that a book will be a life changer for them. Let's pull them books out.
Right. So my first book is Chronicles of Pain, Leaving the Pain of the Past Behind. And this is the very first book I wrote. I was so afraid to do this, but this is more of my memoir and poetry in there. And it tells the story of where I came from. I was on drugs, prostitution, domestic violence, really bad place, to now I'm a published author and I have my own publishing company. So when I say you can do it, anybody can do this. I didn't think I would ever get off drugs. I just had no clue but God, And so I'm grateful that I sat down and listened.
Yes.
And heard the unctionings of God and decided that I wanted more for myself. And so that's my first book. This tells the story of who Sharon Blake is right here.
Okay.
And then after that, people were asking me, how did you get clean? How did you get your life back together? And so again, sat down with the creator and then birthed the thought detox. And it really goes into why you are the way you are. Oh, breaking free from a negative thought life and where the negativity comes from. I was taught to be this way by my family members, and they were taught to be that way by their family members, and why. So I call this the book of questions because
you know what? I always say it's what you call generational curses.
Yeah, definitely.
It's generational curses, and this book is called The Thought of Detox. That's good.
So that's why I wrote this one, because I was getting a lot of feedback. Well, tell us how you got clean, or what you do to change your mind. How did you change your mind? And then I wrote this one, of course, we just talked about. And then this one is called Just Be, Reclaiming Peace in the Face of Racism. And so this is a poetry book. And it's just about how we just need to simply be, in the face of everything that's going on with the pandemic, with everything that's going on. Sometimes we just have got to just tune into God and just let everything else go. We need those moments, we really do.
Want to give a shout out to author Donna Davis Lewis. She's on here. I'll be interviewing her, I think either today or tomorrow. She's on the tour. So congratulations, Donna. Can't wait to do your interview. She said you have a great story. Congratulations. So I love when we vibe together. I love when we uplift each other because, one encouraging word can shift, sharing everything. My motive for doing this tour is to let other potential authors know if we can do it, you can do it.
Yes, amen to that.
God will send you what you need. So I'm excited about all these books. And so you can go to Life Chronicle Publishing to purchase any of the books. Tell her I sent you. Hey, let her know. Hey, I watched you on Nikki Zeigler's show. And so, I want to purchase the book and build your own relationship with author Sharon Blake. And maybe she can give you some pointers on how to do your book or show you how to edit the book. You never know. Guys, we got to stop having a spirit of pride on us. Sometimes pride can shut doors. Amen. So I'm excited to have you on this tour with us, author Sharon Blake. And so go and follow her on all of her social media handles. Where can do you have a fan page as well?
Do I have what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Do you have a fan page where they can follow you at, or do you?
I have Facebook. It's Sharon Blake, and then Life Chronicles Publishing, Facebook as well. Life Chronicles Publishing on Instagram, Life Chronicles Publishing on LinkedIn. So everything Life Chronicles Publishing, and then my personal page on Facebook is Sharon Blake.
Are you open to publish other authors now, or you just doing strictly your stuff?
No, I have my own publishing company, so we publish multiple authors.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're looking to get your book published or need help, hey, reach out to her. Call her up. Follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Facebook because she's looking for other authors. And her job is not only to write books, but she has a publishing company. So therefore, she can help you get your book published, okay? Follow her. She got a lot of things going on that's positive, and we need this. So what's the name of the last book? I want to make sure I get that because we got people going in and out, and they're asking questions.
Just Be, Reclaiming Peace in the Face of Racism.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the other book, the other racist book that you wrote, the other racial book. Yep.
Oh, Little Black Boys and Girls, We Will Fight for You.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. Miss Author Sharon Blake is her name. You can definitely follow her. Tell her I sent you. And we conclude this interview. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon.
Thank you for having me. Blessings.
Have a good day. And y'all gonna see her in a couple more tours. I'm gonna bring her back because I want to do some dialogue on racism. So we're gonna bring her back on some other stuff I got going on for 2021. So you will be seeing her again. Okay.
Man, all right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, guys. Wasn't that something, man? Go support this lady. Go support her Life Chronicle publications. Author Sharon Blake is her name. She has 4 or 5 books that I think I saw. I think 4 books. Look her up. Get educated. Read. Support her. And you will be supported as well. You never know what kind of relationship God will pop off with this relationship with Miss Sharon Blake. Her name is Author Sharon Blake. And I'm quite sure when we hang up, she'll go ahead and put her website in the comments so you guys can look her up. This video, you can always replay this. Go do a watch party, share this video, because we're in the blessing business. It's all about connecting our women and men who are doing some amazing things in our community. I'll see you back again at 12:30. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an amazing day.